Please stand as we affirm our faith by reciting together one of the most recent confessions, the Confession of Belhar, which is in your bulletin on the right-hand side. We believe that God has revealed himself as the one who wishes to bring about justice and true peace among people, that God, in a world of injustice and enmity, is in a special way the God of the destitute, the poor, and the wronged, that God calls the church to follow him in this, for God brings justice to the oppressed and gives bread to the hungry, that God frees the prisoner and restores sight to the blind, that God supports the downtrodden, protects the stranger, helps orphans and widows, and blocks the path of the ungodly, that for God, pure and undefiled religion is to visit the orphans and the widows in their suffering. God wishes to teach the church to do what is good and to seek the right, that the church must therefore stand by people in any form of suffering and need, which implies, among other things, that the church must witness against and strive against any form of injustice, so that justice may roll down like waters and righteousness like an ever-flowing stream. You may be seated. This morning, we remember two of our church members, Betty Rue and Betty Olson, who entered the life eternal this week. Please keep their families in prayer. And if you will now join me in prayer by bowing your heads. O God, whom we cannot love unless we love our neighbors, look with compassion on those who are sick and suffering, who have received bad news this week, who feel hopeless and alone, who struggle with addiction. Bring healing and peace, body, mind, and spirit. Stand with and comfort those who grieve, that they may be sure that nothing, not even death, can separate them from your love. We especially remember today the families of our church members Betty Olson and Betty Rue, and ask that you enfold them and their families and all who mourn in your loving, compassionate embrace. Bring peace to the hearts of those who carry heavy burdens of worry and concern about their loved ones, health, business, school, finances, and transitions of life. Restore peace and healing to our divided nation. Guide our leaders and officials and provide them with wisdom and discernment. Give us hope. O God, disturb our complacency. Disrupt our comfort. Move our hearts from good intentions to actions of good. Let us see the face of Jesus in those that we serve with and meet. Help us to reorder our lives so that we do not look away or pass by, walk over, forget, or harden our hearts to the cries of the least of these, our brothers and sisters next door and around the world. By your Spirit, guide our church outside its front door in service to our neighbors, and inspire us to open our cupboards, empty our closets, share our treasure, and free our time to demonstrate your love and care to those in need. Bless the efforts, hands and feet of those who serve you in our food pantry, who volunteer in schools, participate in prison ministries, go on mission trips, provide a meal to a neighbor, send a card, give a hug, all acts of love in a hurting world. Help us to live as Jesus lived, to walk in the way of the one who taught us to pray, Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debt as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom and the power and the glory forever. Amen. And now, with gladness and joy, let us offer to God our lives and our gifts. As we have received generously, let us return generously to God.